Okay. Oh, man. What a day, what a day, what a day, what a day. We live. Is you live? I'm live. Hey, Margarita. Hey, Eric. Hey, Kip. Thanks, Kip. Already liked it. Loved it. Patricia. Hey, what's up? Wanda, what's going on? Shanta. Hey, Mr. Brando. April's laying down. Food coma. Exit. Gang, gang. It is gang. It's gang life. It's gang everything, baby. We having a lot of fun. I came to bring the bombs. I am your host. I am Mr. Brando. And that is Daisy. Shush. Hush, hush, hush. Get down. No, get down. Get down. Showtime. Showtime. Exit. Michelle. Margarita. Ola. April's downstairs. She's probably asleep. Todd, what's going on, my man? Shanta. A gang. Corporate practitioner. Oh, man. There goes my Megan. What's going on, Megs? Paul Lund. Okay, I'm up. Damn straight you better be up. Ain't that much cards in the world, my man. Margarita, what's going on? Josie. Exit. Robin. Ernest. Sean. Luis. Margarita. Sherry. Edward. Melvin. Denise. Melinda. Daniel. William. Tabitha. What's up, gang, gang, all day? As you guys know, I usually give it 5 minutes before we get the party actually started, and we commence to getting it on. Let's give it a couple seconds, but I happen to sit here. Thank you, Margaret, for hitting that like. You know, y'all, please, if you guys like the content, you like what you see, please like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Hey, Kimberly Cherry, long time no see for you. Dang, I ain't seen Kimberly in a while. You know? But the idea here is, y'all, shared information is good information. We've got some good stuff popping. I got some good stuff for y'all. So we're gonna give it just two more minutes here. Give it a couple minutes, y'all. We're gonna give the people a chance to get in, get settled, get it popping. And I'm going to have a sip of my water here. Got Daisy by my feet. Trying not to vape. Not vape. Don't vape. Don't vape. Got my hair down. Denise, what's going on, gang, all day? Man, I'm so excited for the show. I am telling y'all, if you guys aren't feeling the 2016 vibes, I am really massively, but even more so, like with the stuff I'm seeing, with the information that I'm talking about with people, just the conversations that I'm having about the dinar in general are totally different than conversations I had about the dinar even last year or the year before. And I mean, Iraq is becoming super progressive. I mean, if you guys have been reading the news, which I'm going to give you guys in here just a second, there is some super progressive news out there from Iraq. Okay, one more minute and we are doing this here. Less than 60 seconds. We're going to get started. Everybody else can catch up. Oh, man, do I see that correctly? There are 37 people in here and 35 likes. That is the closest we've ever gotten to a perfect day in here. That's awesome. That is amazing. Hey, Eric. What's up? No, you're awesome. Jacqueline Harvey, Financial Fridays. Shout out Financial Fridays. Shout out my ladies group. I meet with them every Friday at 12 noon CST, and they are like clockwork. They stay on it every week, every week. You know, to get coached up in anything, you just can't do it once in a while. You got to learn to love what you hate. Those three ladies, shout out to her. Big shout out to Miss Deborah. Prayers go out to her. Big shout out Miss Agnes. Big shout out Miss Pam. Financial Fridays coming at you. Man, it's awesome to be a witness of that. What's up, Bill? What's up, man? That's my bro right there. DD Maloney, what's going on? Okay, guys, it's time to get started. You guys ready for some bombs? Are you ready for some bombs? 'Cause I came to bring the pain today. I'm even pulling out the bomb machine. That's how good I feel, okay? Explosions. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm ready. Are you ready? Let's do this. I'm doing it blind too. I cannot see. All I can see what's up on the screen. So hold your questions to the end. It's gonna be a long video. So get your popcorn, get you a cold beverage, get you locked and loaded in. You about to see some ish happening right now. Okay. I got references and everything. Okay. Whew. The Director General of the Iraqi Women's Empowerment Department said on Friday that according to parliamentary analysis of the election results, 97 seats went to Iraqi women. That is 14 more than the quota for women, including 2 winners from minorities. While these results showed 57 win with their voting power without the need for a quota. 14 more women. Now, when you find out who these big losers were, that's going to mean something to you. Primary results of the early Iraqi parliamentary elections was announced. The moment witnessed a clear confusion in the performance of the Independent High Electoral Council. It exasperated tensions caused by the results themselves. Preliminary results. Unprecedented victory for the Sadrist movement, as it has so far more than 70 seats. 70 plus seats. Now, state of law, Nouri al-Maliki won 35 seats. So they basically doubled Maliki. Maliki is teamed up with the other guy that is the PMU militia director guy. And already we have a Shiite on Shiite conflict. So delicious to see that. I've often said what needs to happen with Sadr. Do I trust him? No. But love what he's talking about, raising the value of the Iraqi dinar. They have to raise the value. They don't have to raise the value. Let me put it like this. It behooves them to raise the value if they're going to be on the international stage, to be out there with the big boys. There are very few big dogs out there that their currency is less than nominal, which is about $1 in this world, okay? Now, with that, an increase of 10 seats that it obtained in 2018, now this one should join with Sadr. Kurdish Democratic Party at 32 seats. Do you see Maliki only got 35? There is a sudden shift in the political environment, especially with the stronghold of Iran inside of Iraq. Okay. Al-Fateh coalitions and the forces of the national state. Wisdom, that's his name, Al-Hakim. Hakim. Okay, Hakim, and led by the former Prime Minister Abadi, lost. You want to know where Iran is going? Iran is losing. Iran is losing its stronghold inside of Iraq. That's why you see them losing seats. With all the money was coming out of Iran to help propagate these so-called parliament members, how do they lose 14 seats? How do women gain 14 seats with no agenda, right? No quota. Because there is a shift. No Soleimani to crack the whip. No fear of militias inside of Iraq. Progressive. Okay, now of course, these results prompted the losers, accompanied by Maliki, right? To revive the so-called coordinating framework that there was a statement that they reject the results of the election because of fraud. Where does that sound familiar from, Maliki? All you gotta do is watch daytime American television. This wasn't hard to see, folks. But your little Iranian farce that you got going on ain't holding any water right now, old buddy. Okay? They issued a statement declaring the rejection. Of course they did. The commission said, nope, not with this one. Not with this case. The voters have spoke, regardless if you said they've lost 2 million votes or not. And we saw things fairly conducted. We are going with the results as we see them right now. In its 8,300 stations, with one station from the electoral center of the Baghdad, they manually counted over thousands of votes. There were 31 other hit stations outside of Baghdad and other regions. Before announcing the preliminary results, lost my finger there. Sorry, y'all. Okay, what does it say here? Sorry about that, y'all. My finger hit it. Especially since changes took place and losers. Okay, yeah, they said we're not trying to satisfy the losers. They put an exclamation, especially in the light of the accumulation of the crisis, confining results in the politicization of the work of the independent council. And this council was formed in 2004. Now it actually has some bite. Remember, those were laws. We used to talk about these laws a long time ago, saying that they have to get these laws done. If they don't have these laws, these things will come back to bite them because they won't have a way to enforce the law. But rather conflict because many political forces have declared armed wings. Remember, the other thing that Sadr came out and said, we're going to raise the currency and we're going to get rid of the militias inside of Iraq. Why? Because of this type of stuff. It isn't mob rule, folks. There is no mob rule, whether it be in any country. It's really illegal to even have a militia in this country, but it's because it's not recognized by the Constitution in any faction. But it doesn't matter. That you can see the progress going forward. Okay, the Sovereign Alliance with more than 70 seats. And Fatah 114. It is Iran who is the biggest loser of the election, this says. Solid Iran-backed alliance consisting of the State of Law, Al-Fatah, and those with them, the National Contract Alliance, Alliance of State Forces, some other independents who will join them, and the seats of these will be within 60 seats until the moment they can increase with their presence. What they're basically trying to describe to you is that with Sadr holding so many seats, even if the losers banded together, they still won't have enough seats to form the new government. I hate to say it, we gotta love the devil we're with if Sadr's saying raise the currency value, and we're also gonna get rid of the militia, further weakening Iran's position inside of the country. Remember, Iran survives off of running basically 3 countries: Jordan, Yemen, Iran, and I believe Syria. 4. That's 4. So if they're running those countries, then they're in power. Then they don't have to go to the table for a nuclear deal. We want them to go on the table for a nuclear deal because we want them to eliminate the nuclear presence inside of that region, thus creating volatility. And again, strengthening its trade capacities with borders so that these guys will be happy. They'll quit bothering everybody and it'll allow Iraq to further its missions. Okay? Let me read you guys this quote. My boy Dennis had this on his feed. I thought this was awesome. One of the biggest losses was the loss of 57 seats to the State Forces Alliance led by Hakim and Abadi. What a couple of losers. What a couple of losers. In 2008, Abadi had 42 seats and Hakim 19. So together they managed a total of 61 seats. In 2021, they managed a rather negligible 4 seats only. 4 seats. That is not replacing Maliki with Abadi either. Maliki has its own coalition, but it only got 35 seats, 38 seats. It is okay, kids. As long as Sadr gets the right people to help join his coalition, and I'm sure he's going to get with Halabusi. I would not be surprised if Halabusi was, somewhere, maybe the president of Iraq or some big position. I really have a feeling you're going to see more from him in the future. Like him or don't. Just saying, if that's the deal he's made with Sadr, I could actually see that happening. The International Monetary Fund expected significant growth within Iraq to reach 10.5% in 2022 and to decrease inflation by 4.5%. Huge. Reduced estimates the current account balance for Iraq, suggesting that it would decline to 4% this year from 6.2 compared to a negative 10.8% in 2020. How do you go from a negative 10.8 to a positive 10.5 without major happenings? And it can't be based on oil. Remember, everybody bitched about oil. It's too volatile, it's too this, it's too that. So now you got to sit there and say to yourself, wow, where is that 20 plus swing in the GDP coming from? How are they going to achieve it? And when are you going to start to see the implementations? Central Bank launched its second strategy in its conjunction with the economic and financial reform strategy. The new strategy has drawn a roadmap with clear objectives and policies for the next 3 years. In a special complex and risky economic financial situation. The strategy of the central bank set the main objectives at 15 objectives and accessory objectives by 75 objectives. But it says the first one is supporting and achieving the monetary and financial stability. That's exactly why you and I are in this, really. Enhancing digital transformation in the central banking sector. I'm telling you now, I know people think they are going to a totally digital platform. No, that does not mean they're going to be cashless, okay? It means they're going digital. Digital remittance with cross-border settlements, digital remittance, cross-border settlements all the way to Europe with tips. I'm telling y'all, we are onto something great. Why else? And it's not based on blockchain. I looked up tips, and neither is this the new Burma. It's not based on XRP. I looked that up. But it is a complex system that's based upon some very, very intelligent banking procedural things that are happening. And it does settle within less than 10 seconds. Why would you need to settle if basically the smallest transaction that happens on tips is 6 million euros? What type of settlement could you think of that many euros would be transferred from, let's say, Iraq to Great Britain? Could it be currency? Man, I don't know. That's tough to call. There's other things in here, activating and integrating the internal and external relations of the central bank. All great stuff if you guys wanted to read it. The very number one thing about their objective, monetary policy and banking sector, due to the suffocating economic and financial crisis that Iraq has suffered for subjective and objective reasons, which can be diagnosed as follows. Work to achieve the objectives of the monetary policy, the most important of which is the stability of the exchange rate. The most important, number one on their list, stabilize the exchange rate, the preservation of the purchasing power of the Iraqi dinar, settlement of the inflation, and building of foreign cash reserves. This is what the bank's going to do to help you out. Okay? This is huge. Activate and reconsider the development and work of mechanisms in the deposit of insurance company. Structural and technical foundations, proactive control. Evaluating the results of the bank's business, reclassifying them by accredited international companies, and identify weak banks that need the intervention of the central bank to rehabilitate them and restore their activity to protect them from bankruptcy. Government support in accordance with the previous decisions by the Council of Ministers, Economic Affairs, all in strengthening and activating the central bank's lending and financial initiatives for small, medium, housing, large projects, small projects, medium projects, and in any way that contributes to the stimulating the economy of Iraq by revitalizing the economic systems with great purpose. Wow. 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 If this doesn't make you do a happy dance, I don't know what is. Now, let's talk about this. The CEO of the Regional Institute of the Arab Payments Clearing and Settlement, Buna Platform for Arab Payments, said the Buna Platform for Arab Payments continues to work on introducing new approaches and exploring more opportunities available in the field of interconnection between payment systems. The success of the experiment, first of its kind, joint interconnection between the Buna Platform for Arab Payments and the European system. Now, this is where you have to understand what this system is. The success of the experiment, a one-of-a-kind joint venture basically between them, and that you need to know these words. European System for Settlements of Instant Payments. It's also known as TIPS. Now, when you go over here and you get out your handy-dandy Googler, right? What is the target instant payment settlement system? Instant Payment Settlement System, TIPS, is a new market infrastructure service. It was only launched in November 2018. It enables payment service providers to offer fund transfers to their customers in real time, around the clock, every day of the year with no time off. This means that thanks to TIPS, individuals and firms can transfer money between each other within seconds, introspectively within less than 10 seconds. And if they wanted to have it in real time, they could be there for the opening of their bank hours of their local time. TIPS was developed by an extension of Target 2 and settlement payments in central bank money. TIPS currently only settlements payments transfers in euros. However, in case of demand, other currencies will be supported As of May 22nd, TIPS will begin settlements in all kinds of exotic currencies, even the Swedish krona. Boy, my heart is beating so fast when I said that. These two features TIPS that will help to achieve reachability across the whole of Europe. First, TIPS is based on the SEPA Instant Credit Transfer, SCP, a scheme pan-European instant payments, expected to be used by a large number of payment services providers such as across Europe. Second, TIPS was developed as an extension of Targets 2, which already has an extensive network of participants across Europe. Okay. Now, blockchain. Blockchain market is growing exponentially. Western Europe is the second largest regional wide in terms of blockchain relative spending, indicating good opportunities for your blockchain services. Blockchain technologies like supply chains, manufacturing, and healthcare. The considerable European IT skill shortage further stimulates the outsourcing of blockchain services. Okay, so they never really talk about, right, like Booma on that system, but they give you this really simplified, how does blockchain work? It has a picture of this guy. John wants to transfer money. The financial transactions are digitally represented as a block. The block is distributed across a network, and you see like the little block on the network. The network verifies a transaction, making it valid. That's where they get that little receipt. So first with TIPS, they have to send off this request to the other TIPS person. They're going to send them money or they need to receive money. Same thing with this blockchain. That's why it's so weird that it's not blockchain. But it sounds just like blockchain. After verification, the block is added to the chain. A permanent record is created across the network. John's ownership of the money is transferred to David. So John transferred the money. It took less than seconds. John gets it, but it goes through all these steps, joining the blockchain, keeping both parties at bay with a smart contract. And guess what? They fund it. Everybody's happy. It takes seconds to do. That's what they're talking about doing with this cross-settlement system that's going on, not just within the region of the Arab region, but now it's all the way and extended to the European nations. And we know that because TIPS talks to the Booma package. We know that. That is fact. I just read it to you. Implementing coordination with the Italian Central Bank constitutes tangible proof of the possibility of conducting cross-border instant payment settlement work within a period of time, not exceeding seconds, in multiple currencies and through different payment systems. Multiple currencies and different payment systems. Why would you need an MCP practice on a settlement system? Because if you're using that currency in another country, it needs to go back to the other country to receive payment for it. Guess what? How else do you think they could? That's why digitization of the Iraqi dinar is so important. That's why you know they're going digital. And if they go digital, you're not, I mean, I get the constraints that people feel about, and I've said many times that it's not worth this or not worth that. But if it's nothing but dots and pixels on a screen, they could darn near probably put whatever they want for a value on it. Think about that for a moment. Now, where does that really take a hold? Inside of the stock market. Because now you can settle payments instantly. You're not going to be waiting like I do. When I buy stocks for our group, and we just bought a bunch more recently too, you should really consider joining the Noble Institution. I'm telling you, unless you've got 50 million, 200 million in dinar, man, if you want to gain that, join the Noble Institution. Reach out to Megan. Reach out to me. When people say, I want to join, I always put it up there. I've seen lots of new people join and take advantage. But I'm telling you, you will exchange your currency one time. I will be collecting because I know every single company in Iraq that spends money on a dividend today, we just went ahead and bought all of them. We bought all of them, as much as we could. So we're already in the practice of doing business with countries inside of Iraq that we don't have to sell our assets. We get to hold them, and those assets produce more from us over time, us realizing our dream while everybody else is cashing out and sitting at home. I'll be sending out checks to people for the rest of their lives. And believe it or not, I don't know how many people out there that are invested in the stock market, but if they could, here's a little tip for you. Everybody talks about dividends, but can they actually name how many stocks do they actually know that actually pay a dividend? If they actually know the information, I would venture to guess to tell you they don't. I venture to guess because they're all thinking the same thing that early on I was. Man, they're all going to pay a dividend. No, they're all not. Only certain of them are paying it right now. And are you invested in those so that your group can see money back? I just got into them for our group. I made smart investments across the board with everything else. Now we're starting to play with the big money players. Shout out to the group. Shout out to the Noble Institution. Shout out to the LIXS group. Shout out to all those people. busting their hump, buying blocks, doing what they need to do to secure wealth for their family for the rest of their life. Shout them out. Never stop shouting out my gang. We have previously announced our plans to develop solid foundations for effective interconnection with payment systems. There are payments to enhance opportunities for the dissemination of its services and products and develop in the ability to keep pace with the needs of the financial and payment sector in the Arab region and at an international level. The platform consists of integrated systems specialized in providing clearing and settlement services for payments in Arab and international currencies, aimed at enabling financial and banking institutions in the Arab region and beyond, including central and commercial banks, to send and receive payments throughout the banking system and abroad, safe, reliable, and highly effective manner. It is noteworthy that the participation in platform is available to all banks and financial institutions that meet the criteria and the conditions for participation in it. Why else do you guys think that the central bank, is trying to get all these other banks online? It's not guesswork. It's not like, oh, well, we're just trying to really get these guys on international standard. No, because they're trying to make sure all these banks are eligible for these services with these different countries and with these different entities. So when these settlements come through, they'll have an opportunity to take advantage of it and utilize it. Okay, now this seems to have gotten lots of traction, so I'm going to read it. The instructions of the central bank regarding the sale of foreign currency came within the framework of combating money laundering by increasing the procedures for checking and disposing of foreign currency. Everybody takes that as saying that on October 17th, everything's going to be done and ready. I still believe Kuwait is paid off. They're not going to make the announcement right now. They're just not. No, they're not going to make the announcement during a caretaker government. I'm telling you that right now. They are not going to change the value of the dinar with a caretaker government. I'm telling you that right now. A lot of you are going to check out and be angry with me. I wasted 27 minutes of my life listening to you, Mr. B, and you just said the 17th ain't going to happen. No, it ain't going to happen. I'm telling you, it ain't going to happen with a caretaker government. They can't do anything until everything is set in place. It's like a business. They got to have their CEO. They got to have their treasurer. They got to have these things. I'm telling you, they wouldn't do that with any business, let alone Iraq. They're not that dumb. Okay? There is no fear of the central bank's measures as long as the currency is going to be treated in the right way. A prior fear of the unnecessary as long as the transactions presented. The reason why they're doing this, and this is major for us, is because it's to stop money laundering and theft of foreign currency reserves inside of the auction system, which we know is a killer and a detriment to the value of the dinar itself. I mean, let's call it what it is. It is what it is, and we know what it is. So let's not candy coat it and make up some people are grumbling the 17th. What people are grumbling on the 17th? You tell them, let's put up 100,000 dinar piece. I'll put up 100, they put up 100, whoever these people are. And when it don't go on the 17th, like many of these predictions of people that talk about it and don't know, watch. I'll be rich. I have enough dinar, then I can just pass around people. But it's not because they're dumb. It's because they're grasping at stuff with their dinar goggles on. It ain't happening on the 17th. It's going to happen, but not on the 17th. And do I know the actual day it's going to happen? Absolutely not. I'd be crazy to tell you that I am. But I'm also not crazy enough to know that they're not going to, if they can't pass any laws or do anything in a caretaker government, I know darn sure well that the CBI, as skittish as it is, without the finance department fully intact, they're not going to make any moves while the GOI is not fully in place. Okay? They say that they have a budget ready for 2020. Here's the problem with the budget for 2020. Great, you went through all these painstaking terms to do all this work. Really, it was busy work for the GOI to give them something to write about. And also, you're going to present it to the new parliament. But the new parliament, with all these new switch up in seats, do you think you're going to let the last Iranian-influenced government have anything to do with this new budget that's going forward? Think about that. The people that were in power, major positions of power, your Abadis, your Malikis, they had heavily influence because they held seats. They could vote on things. They had political pull. Do you think they're going to allow that budget to go forward knowing that we got rid of all these Iranian puppets? Heck no, they're going to redo that budget. But thanks for busy work, GOI. You're famous for that. I can see them still setting the barrels at $50. And here's the thing, y'all. Prediction, okay? Oil right now is a little over 85. I think at the peak, it's going to get real close to 100, and it's going to come down. My prediction, if you want an options call, short oil first quarter at the second quarter next year. Short it to where it is now. I think it's going to settle in and be somewhere around that $60 to $67 area, which is fine for Iraq, but it's not like the numbers they're putting up today. Okay, they're not football numbers. So everything needs to be in some type of neat little bow and package going into that. Because if you're going to have everything paid off, everything's done, currency's ready to rock and roll, you guys have to have a plan further than oil to really get the things done that you're going to want to get done. Okay? And they already have these plans. They're already thinking about these things. The economy will recover during the next 5 years. Crude oil production will exceed 6 million barrels. The Iraqi economy will coexist strongly with the international basis as far as currency. Global demands for hydrocarbons will increase. And the entry of the epidemic represented by the corona pandemic in a sluggish cycle and inversely to the growth of energy markets. Yeah, with nothing moving, nothing's moving around. It makes sense. Now, the Electoral Commission is set Wednesday, October 3rd, the date for announcing the final results of the early parliamentary elections. See why now I'm saying they're not going to do that on the 17th? They said in a press statement followed by Al-Masala that the time for submitting appeals against the election results, the commission's consideration of them, and the decisions of the federal court in their regard indicated that the final results may be announced for 20 days. May be announced in 20 days. That's at the end of the month. So we know that they're talking 20 days. Now, here, let me blow your mind with something else. The ones that are complaining because they lost, they're losers, right? The ones that lost are hoping that their appeals are going to go through, but the commission already said we're not going to hear your boos. So what are they doing for the next 20 days in preparation of whatever is going on that they only need November and December to have everything cleared up and cleared off their books going into 2021? Can someone please raise your hand and tell me? Because that sounds drastically like you guys got your stuff together. I'm just saying. It drastically sounds like you do. And considering that you're going from a negative 10.8 to a positive 10.5, you better hit the ground running. The results are not yet final. The commission will not abide by any of the rulings until it is announced by the number of winners, their names, and their seats of each of them. He stressed the commission has received complaints from the first day of the elections, stressing, no, where'd they get that playbook from? I don't like what's going on in the election, so I'm going to say it's stolen. Crap. Manual counting and sorting. Okay, more election, but we already talked about that. Now, I thought this was interesting. So, all this skepticism about the blocks, Sauter's saying, well, hey, I won, so you guys can be as skeptic as you want. He's saying it's a direct result of the Iranian pushback. I say it's because there's more people in those slums in Sadr City than probably, since only they said 40% of the people voted. I bet you most of those people were probably in Sadr City because they didn't have jobs or anything else to do, and they took it seriously, and that's how Sadr got ahead. Yeah, of course, Fatah and Amiri reject. We need to defend our votes and the candidates. Yeah, because you only got 4 seats, 16 seats. You guys are losers. Okay. What? Okay. Today on Monday, this was Monday. I don't do shows after some news because it's going to get beaten to death. But everybody knows it on Sauter. Sauter said he affirmed work to improve the level of the Iraqi dinar, and he used the words Iraqi dinar. He didn't say raise against the dollar. He didn't say raise or diminish the dollar value. He said raise the value of the Iraqi dinar. He also noted that he wanted to get rid of all the militias inside of the country. This is your day, O people of Iraq. The reforms have won. In this day, Iraq, determination is steadfast. The people's oil is for the people. And we will improve the dinar to be to the ranks of international currencies gradually and activate the role of clans to support the stability of Iraq, calling for the confiscation of arms in the hands of the state, even if it claims to represent the resistance. No militias, kids. Shout out on Monday. It's the Humble Prophet's birthday. They're going to be closed. There will be no international stuff going on. So shout out their prophet. They said the elections are nothing but a recorded reality of the actual political system inside of Iraq against Iran and its subordinates. I love it. I love it. This is nothing but great stuff. But to drop my last bomb of all bomb, Sauter also came out today, and guess what he said? His choice for PM might be a woman. Wouldn't it be awesome if it was Tamimi? I'm going to take a couple questions, and then we're going to let this one go, kids. Okay, let's see here. Talk about the dong. It's not earth-shattering news, the dong. So can we? I'll get it, but I'll do it another day. I'll do it on Facebook for you guys. Daniel Johnson, William Parks, Tabitha, Jeffrey Brown, Margarita, Kimberly, Denise, Candy, hello, Eric M, Jacqueline, Margarita D, Kush, Mary, hey Miss Mary, hey Sammy. They are replacing damaged coins with new ones. They don't have any coins in circulation yet, Sammy. Tabitha Patterson, Margarita Man Bomb, Mary Bomb, Pamela Down. Hello, Jerome Williams. What's up, Candy? Heck yeah. Shanta, bomb. Always these bombs. Need to speak to someone about investing. Tabitha, I need to talk to you. I think, did you reach out to me on Noble? We were supposed to set up a time. I sent you a message. Margarita, Pamela. Oh no, God bless you, Financial Friday ladies. Shanta, women power. I believe it, man. Can you believe it if Iraq has a woman not a woman president, but a woman PM? It'll actually be more progressive than the United States. We've never had a woman president. Shout out to Jerry Parker, longtime listener since you got started. Gang, old school. Jerry Parker, major shout out. Jerry Parker, old school, hanging on with me. Appreciate the love. Donna D. Yeah, Iran is a mafia of militias inside there. Donna D, great news. Margarita, bombs. Eugene B, what's up, brother? Eugene, hello. Bomb. Yes, keep dropping them bombs, Brando. I just dropped them. Loving the flow, Brando. Show, we got nothing but bombs here from her. Dano, Brando, Enrique, good stuff, Brando. Thank you, Sean. Shanta, show. I can't handle this much good news. It's a lot. I'm telling you, I have not been this excited about the Iraqi dinar since 2016. They're replacing damaged coins with new ones. I believe Kuwait is paid off too. Plus, I believe the new government will be in by the end of the month. This is good. Still a good rest of the year. Yeah, I don't know anything about the coins. They don't have any coins in circulation to replace, so I don't know why they're replacing coins they don't have, so I can't confirm or deny that from Sammy. Kuwait, I believe Kuwait's paid off. I wholeheartedly do, yeah. I believe it because you can't announce Kuwait's paid off because it's going to put a speculative run on the currency when they know they're at least 20 days out or 15 days out from announcing a fully functioning GOI. You can't make destruction happen. Come on, guys. Shanta, I heard that today. Alita, hi Alita. Patricia Young, thank you for the awesome news, Shanta. Hi Alita. Sean Warford, woman, yes, woman power. Woman power. Man, women claiming fortune. How do you feel about that? I feel like that is just crazy. Like, that's awesome. That's just showing that Iraq is really, really starting to step up. And really, hopefully we get a woman PM. I really believe it. Alita, Enrique, great info, bro. Thanks for the update. Of course, Queen, QB, Ola, Margarita, thank you. Maxwell, Bahamas. Yep, we are an international gang. We got people everywhere. Shout out to Bahamas. Queen B, thanks for great info. Max, gang. Robert, gang. Robert, yo, what's going on, Robert? Shout out, Robert. Post a lot. Shout out everybody that posts on the Facebook page, the Noble Institution Facebook page. If you want to join the Noble Facebook page, let us know. Frank Nino, what's going down, B? Nothing but this awesome news. And hearing that Iran lost, over 40 seats in the election, so the influence is getting down to negligible. Seeing Maliki bawl and cry to his constituents about how things are unfair. Oh, the sweet tears of revenge that I'm feeling for these people right now. No, they haven't said who won yet. Just preliminary operations tell us that we know that Sauter got over 73 seats. Well, this was a long one, 40 minutes. I think it was well worth it. I'm telling you, I really think the president might be Halabusi in some ways. If him and Sauter are making a deal, I really see Halabusi saying, because Sauter can't be because he's a religious cleric. He can't be the president. I could really see if he made a deal with Halabusi that, yeah, Halabusi be president, they elect a woman PM, and then from there, we're going to have to find out who the Speaker of the House is. Well, Kazemi's not out, but he didn't want to run again. So, I mean, unless he was reelected somehow, but he's already said he didn't want to run again. I don't think Kazemi wants to be the PM because, first of all, whoever's the PM of Iraq needs to speak. I believe that they're going to want someone that's got a little bit more Western civilization expertise, someone that speaks English, maybe somebody that's got a little dual residency, maybe here in Europe, here in the United States. I just think they want someone a little bit more worldly. And not that Kazemi didn't do awesome. Kazemi did exactly what he was supposed to do. He got us to that finish line and shouting him out, good job. You know, if you guys are members of Noble, be sure that you are a member and in good standing. We've got a few members out there that are, they've got money in there, but if you don't pay your bills, you won't get $1 out that deal. And we'll just simply return your money. So please, be sure to be a member, be in good standing. Also, yeah, he's been great. Also, shout out to all you guys for taking your time out on a Friday night. I know you guys have other things to do. I'm going to let you to it. Have an awesome weekend. Daisy says goodbye. I say goodbye. Here's one last bomb for the cause. And I will see you guys on the flip side or on another ride. But y'all have a great evening. I will see you guys in a week.